Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forest Glen Park in the last home game of the season for the Foresters. Grant Simmons on the mound for the Foresters, taking on the Division III Manchester Spartans. Ryan Walker, Carson Watkins here on the call today. Carson, how you feeling, man?
Feeling pretty good. Really excited to get one last game in here. Nice little broadcast here with all the angles we can possibly have. The trees are blooming a little bit there in the outfield. Let's do this.
A little bit chillier maybe than what we would like, but it is sunny outside, which definitely helps. First batter of the game was Ivan Winkle, who struck out, and then as you just saw right there, Zach White batting second in the lineup gets hit by Grant Simmons. Simmons this season did throw on Saturday, got a 1-2-3 at Goshen to finish that series off and help Joey Butts finish the game. Giving up only 3 runs from the pitching staff that day. Grant Simmons did not give up one, the freshman from Homestead High School. So there's a base hit into right field from Rocco Haynes. So now the Spartans get 2 runners on here with just 1 out.
Yeah, Grant Simmons hurt. Two-sport athlete, also playing basketball here at HU. So a little bit of an interesting season for him. He was hurt, didn't get to do some of the preseason things like the Arizona trip. I believe he went to Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. And it's had trouble getting on the field.
This one's hit into left field, but making the catch is Jarrett Gray for out number 2. And yet it has been a little bit of a tough go-around from Grant Simmons. Just the timing didn't work out too well. He's a phenomenal athlete on both sides, on baseball and basketball, but had an injury to his knee that required surgery and got him on the court within a couple months. But Coach Alford's squad was kind of hesitant to throw him in the Crossroads League fire there for his first game. So he did get some time off the bench, but for sure a very talented player that would have played much more minutes. And then same thing here for baseball. Just was unable to throw a ton of bullpens as the team is in Arizona. So Simmons getting an opportunity against Goshen on Saturday and did really well. And he's got another opportunity here, Carson.
Yeah, I'd really like to see what we can see here from Grant Simmons because both times we've seen him has been in a blowout. So I'd really like to see how he's sitting here as a clean slate. It's 0-0. He has a chance here to really show up. I'm not sure it's the bullpen game, Ryan. Got a big series against Mount Vernon on Saturday. So I'll see how long his leash is.
Hitting the air towards center field. McCutcheon will go off and make the grab to end the inning. Not too bad from the freshman Simmons, getting his first collegiate start here on FDN Sports. Manchester on the mound for the first time here. Carson, let's talk about his starter here, Gage Sandlin.
Yeah, Sandlin has a little bit of an elevated ERA, but only 5 appearances. This is his first start of the year. He's thrown 6.2 innings. He's gotten 5 strikeouts on the year. He's only given up 1 long ball. Has to watch the walks, though. He has 9 of those. So the Foresters, if they want to get on base, maybe some plate discipline will be huge for them.
And Carson, let's round off with the starting lineup here. We'll go with Daniel Lichty to lead things off at third base. Then it'll be the center fielder, Ian McCutcheon, followed by Langston Ginder, Satchel Wilson, Matt Wolf, and the left fielder, Jarrett Gray, will bat 6th. First baseman, Owen Young, Nico David out in right, and behind the plate, Jaden Deal. And as we just said leading off, Daniel Lichty will come up to the plate and take on a Manchester Spartans team who is not playing the NAI just like Foresters do. They play in NCAA Division III.
Yeah, surprisingly, even with the proximity of these two schools, this is their first appearance playing each other. That surprised me a little bit, but we'll see who can take the all-time leading series here at the end of this 9 innings.
Manchester this season is 7-22, or 3-9 in the conference. So Lichty will take first strike there. They play in the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. And they have played an NAIA team this year. They played Indiana Tech and lost 14-4. Not too far away. Indiana Tech, the Warriors from Fort Wayne, Indiana. And the trip was pretty short to Huntington here too.
Yeah, about a good 20-25 minutes.
This one bounces into the new artificial turf for ball 4.
Yeah, like I said, we have a pitcher on the mound. Foresters are facing somebody who walks a lot of guys. It's the 10th walk of the year. Foresters obviously want to get the barrel in the bat, but hey, if you can practice some plate discipline, your on-base percentage could go up a little bit too.
Speaking of on-base percentage, Ian McCutcheon will step up to the plate, who had quite the Saturday afternoon in the doubleheader versus Goshen, hitting just over 500 in that series, smacking 3 home runs. Carson, what a day for McCutcheon.
Yeah, he had a great day, Ryan. I saw he got interviewed too. I thought he would reach the threshold not to get interviewed again, but...
Well, Coach Thad Frame did not want Ian to not be in the video. He tried, but apparently he told him to go do it. So he's a little bit forced to do it, but that's okay. He enjoyed it, I'm sure. This one escapes the first baseman, Perez, and Lichty is going to get into second standing up without a throw. And the Foresters are in scoring position with Crossroads League, one of the best hitters.
Absolutely. Like you said, he really got a hold of that one on Saturday. I was able to watch back here in the old dorm hall. Really got a hold of some of those games.
This one will be taken high. And Carson, I was talking to Langston Ginder earlier today, and he said something that I didn't realize, that the Foresters are just 1 home run away to tie the school record at 54 home runs as a team this season. So something to look out for here as the Foresters play at home, where they've smacked the ball a little bit this year.
Yeah, I was sitting up here with Coach Thad Frame, and remind me who was up here earlier, the alumni.
Dalton Combs was here.
Yeah, Dalton Combs. He said, yeah, Coach Thad Frame said, yeah, they're getting there with your record.
Little bit of a slip on the mound from Sandlin. They're trying to pick off Lichty.
Yeah, he might be Manchester plays on a dirt field. He might have to be adjusting to the artificial turf. I'm not sure how much of a difference it makes, but perhaps just enough.
McCutcheon will take strike 2. That moves the count to 2-2. 13 home runs on the year for Ian McCutcheon. Check to swing. Did he go? Field umpire says no. So he'll stay alive.
Yeah, but Foresters, like I said, they've kind of lived and died by that long ball so far this year. Sometimes their only runs have come from the long ball, which is fun when it works, but unfortunately sometimes you only get 1 long ball a game, and then you're sitting there and you only got 1 run.
This one will be a little bit too high, so back-to-back walks to start the game here, Carson, with a very hot-hitting Langston Ginder.
Yeah, Langston Ginder really picking it up a little bit in the second half of the season here. Stole 7 bases against Goshen, 5 extra base hits, and with a runner at second and a very fast McCutcheon at first.
So Ginder will climb into the plate, 529 in that series versus Goshen, which is nice to see from Langston Ginder.
Already some action in the Spartan bullpen. This is a bullpen game. Talked to Langston Ginder before the game. He said he's living the dream. And how could you not be?
Yep, exactly. Playing at this beautiful ballpark, Carson. Of course.
Nothing better.
This one tapped towards the left field side. That one's going to just go foul. May or may not ended up into a splashing stream over there in left field.
It actually didn't. It took a bounce over. It took a bounce on one side. I don't know. It must have hit a rock or something. It flew all the way across the concourse.
Luckily, the Forester infield does not have to play in those rocks. That ball would ricochet all over the place.
Be an interesting game.
1-1 to Ginder. We'll take it inside. Sandelin really doesn't want to walk 3 in a row to start the game here with Satchel Wilson lurking on deck, who hits 347 on the season with some pop. Takes that one inside. Both runners will move up.
Yeah, imagine if he walks Langston Ginder here. That might just be the end of his day.
Definitely could be. These midweek games are rare, of course, in the Midwest, especially with the weather and having to play conference games on Mondays and Tuesdays. But finally, the Foresters are getting some here against Manchester. So it'll be likely a bullpen day for Huntington as they'll rest their 4 starters. But everybody else in the bullpen is available today. So one tapped over to the first base side. Gloving it is Perez. But the Foresters will go up 1-0 on the fielder's choice.
Just a hard-hit ball right to the first baseman. Not much. Langston Ginder, he gave it his all, but he'll certainly take an RBI to his stats.
Brings in a ton of runs. That's his 36th on the season for the Foresters. Obviously something you want in your 3-hole hitter. But now we'll bring up Satchel Wilson, the cleanup man. So take this one high and inside for ball 1. Wilson, the shortstop for the Foresters. McCutcheon stands on third. Here with 1 out, could score on a sac fly.
Want to see, especially if one goes wild, if he decides to, McCutcheon decides to peel away. It's like the Warsaw baseball team is going to be joining us today. Or
I think that's Wabash.
Wabash?
But yeah, definitely very cool to see. Some fans coming in, seeing Callan Kelsheimer. So this one's hitting the air towards center field. Mitchell Cobb from Wabash will make the catch as McCutcheon will come in and score. Thank you, Coach Frame, for that tidbit as well. And the Foresters have taken a 2-0 lead here in the first inning.
Batting fifth for the Foresters this afternoon will be the DH, number 24.
That'll bring up another power hitter in Matt Wolf, who launched another one against Goshen in that doubleheader where the Foresters hit 7 home runs.
And that'll help you inch towards that record.
Yes, it will, and Sandlin's going to let Matt Wolf know that he's not going to get a home run at this at-bat. He's going to hit him. So Wolf will go over to first. Get a free pass, and it'll bring up Jarrett Gray. Huntington North High School native Jarrett Gray. Bats left. He has slugged some home runs this year, too, for the Foresters. As he He's looking to leave the yard on that swing for strike one. Has 7 home runs on the season, hitting just a tad under 300, and just another productive year for Huntington. So one tapped right back to Sandlin, the pitcher. He'll go over and make the play to Brady Perez, but the Forsters do get 2 here in the bottom of the first. We'll head to the second and a 2-0 lead for Huntington on FTN Sports. Grant Simmons will head back to the mound. Got out of a first and second runner's jam from the Manchester Spartans. Now we'll head back to the mound as see the Foresters. They're in the dugout.
Shout out Bench Mob.
Looking really excited. That'll bring up Jared Holly, the left fielder, batting 6th. Excuse me, center field. From Wabash. So I made 2 mistakes there, Carson, already. It's already the first inning. You got to help me out here, man.
It's a second inning. Make that 3. Grant Simmons has a great curveball. You saw it there. That one was just a little bit too out of the zone, but you saw how much that thing just snapped.
Really just a good pitch, too. Learned that over at Homestead High School, which is home of Carson's favorite high school, right?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
2-2 curveball is fouled back. Holly on the season, 282 hitter with 2 home runs on the season. He's also appeared in 9 games on the mound for the Spartans and 14 1/3 innings. 2-way guy. Satchel Wilson will gobble this one up and fire to Owen Young for out number 1. That'll bring up Colin Turner, the right fielder, batting 7th. 211 hitter on the season. No home runs, but the 3 RBIs on the season so far. Swings of this one over to Daniel Lichty. Fire over to first. He'll draw Young off the bag, but he'll make the tag for out number 2.
A little bit of an awkward throw there from Lichty. Had to get it all the way across the field. Not much you can do there, but good awareness there from Owen Young. Umpire waited to make his decision. I was going to see if I was obviously not base runner interference. I'm pretty sure he could have gotten out of the way, but I was wondering why the umpire hesitated, but out is the call at the end of the day.
First pitch swinging. That one's going to be fair and drop for a base hit from Mitchell Cobb. So he'll get on here with 2 outs, try to start a rally for the 9-hole man, Mitchell Baker.
Now batting for the Spartans, the shortstop, number 8, Mitchell Baker.
Big swing and a miss on the outside pitch to start the at-bat from Baker. On the season, 242 hitter Leads the team in stolen bases with 5. So he's got some speed. This one skied in the air towards McCutcheon. Won't be able to use the speed here as McCutcheon makes the catch for out number 3. We'll head to the bottom of the second and a 2-0 game in favor of the Foresters. Joey Butts loving it in the dugout here on FTN Sports. Coming back in here in FTN Sports, Owen Young is going to lead off here in the inning. A 6th-year senior. This will be his last home game here at Forest Glen Park. And
Are you positive about that?
yes, well, I guess I'm not, but yeah, for sure. Him, Daniel Lichty, and Camden Dice are at least the guys that won't be able to come back for another year, even though it seems like they just keep finding eligibility. But Carson, just wanted to shout out those guys that are done after this season, and this is their last game here at home at Forest Glen Park. So just wanted to shout those 3 out for sure. Of course, other guys, is this one's bobbled by the second baseman but thrown for out number 1. But just wanted to shout these guys out for sure. Now there's a ton of players that maybe are still undecided on using that 6th year or not.
COVID year, 6th year.
Red shirt, everything.
Red shirt, yeah.
Exactly. So you just never know. But at least those 3, wanted to give them a special shout out for sure. We'll be talking about them throughout the broadcast today, but just give them some props here for sticking it out in college for maybe an extra year or 2, and especially the ones that will decide to either come back or not come back as 5th or 6th years next year. As quickly, that will be out number 2 off of the bat of Nico Davitt to bring up Jaden Deal to the plate.
Now batting for the Foresters, the catcher, number 17, Jake Deal.
Jaden Deal had a really good weekend against Goshen. Some extra base power, including a home run over the scoreboard to notch his 4th of the year, hitting over 200 now for the first time this season. That average just continues to keep climbing up, and that's a huge sign. That one's roped foul for the Foresters, Carson.
Yeah, absolutely. Really he had a lower batting average start of the season, but it just exponentially started increasing throughout the year. And you know, like we talked about before, you know, the best catching hitters in especially in Major League Baseball, you know, those are only guys about 200. I thought it was only 2 and 1.
That's what I was thinking too, is Jaden Deal takes his second pitch for strike 3 apparently, and I think maybe there might be confusion on if that ball was called a strike or not.
The umpire's just sitting there flashing 2-1.
So we'll get a discussion now.
See
We didn't get this first. They'll conversate about this, but before the game, the Foresters bench got warned, as to my amazement and Coach Abbott over there in the dugout, they were a little surprised that had happened, and they're going to call Jaden Deal out. So there might have been confusion on ball 1 or potentially strike 2.
All right.
I guess. Grant Simmons will be back on the mound. Foresters go down 1-2-3. Gummy bears and fudge for Carson and I in between innings here.
This job's great.
We had to wharf that down as soon as we can. Thank you to people up here in the press box, Joanne Green, for that.
And Darby.
And Darby, of course. This one skied in the air, and making the catch is the shortstop, Wilson, for out number 1.
That catch was about as good as those gummy bears.
No comment.
Well, you didn't have the gummy bears, so you
okay.
wouldn't know. You had the fudge, didn't you?
Half.
Half of the fudge? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Just trying to hurry up.
Every half inning, just get some more fudge.
Oh, yeah. So both teams went through the order in the first 2 innings. So Ivan Winkle flew out to lead off the inning. Now it's Zach White to the plate as he ropes this one towards Wilson and makes the catch at shortstop. It's going to fire over anyways, but they made the call at home plate. He continues to put his fist up in the air, saying the out. So he'll be out number 2 quickly.
He had to explain the count. Now he's having to explain that out. His arm might be tired by the end of this half inning.
Exactly. Just 1 9-inning game here today, but definitely seeming like he's working a doubleheader, huh?
Yeah.
That'll bring up Rocco Hayes, who swings at the first pitch. 1-2-3 inning, though, for the Foresters on 3 pitches. You don't see that very often, Carson.
Grant Simmons' arm is probably thinking everybody right now.
Definitely excited about that. So we just got a break. More fudge, more gummy bears for us, I guess, here on FDN Sports. Gage Sandlin back to the mound here. Gave up the 2 in the first, but bounced back pretty nicely for the Spartans here. So we take a look at the hard-working umpire there today. But got a 1-2-3. Now has to face the top of the lineup again. Lichty, McCutcheon, and Ginder.
Looks like we're using the NCAA umpires today. I'm not sure who how that works, who schedules it.
Yeah.
It's wearing the CBUA hat. You ever seen anybody just like wear like the MLB umpire hat to a game instead of a team? Just a logo hat. There's a actor, I forget who, he got some memes made on Twitter because he just wore an NFL hat to the Super Bowl.
Daniel Lichty to the plate. Start things off here. Squared to try to reach base on a bunt. Third baseman Winkle will move in front of the bag near the artificial lip over there at third base. Lichty will check it but not go for ball 2. And Carson, these are the types of games where you just kind of try things out. You know, if you're both teams, try out with the conference tournaments looming, you know, maybe Lichty, who hasn't really tried to bunt for a single much this year, see what he can do, you know, or try some freshmen out in the field and in the bullpen or some of the younger guys.
Yeah, that's kind of why Grant Simmons is starting today. We're not even sure what the rotation is going to look like this weekend at Mount Vernon. It's going to be really interesting. Not much. I mean, it'd take about a miracle and a half for the Foresters to find their way to the regular season championship at the first seed at Mount Vernon right now. But certainly some seeding is still available.
There's a line drive base hit into center field, so Lichty reaches base the 2 times he's been up so far with a walk and a single. Brent Turner's over there coaching first base. Foresters fireman of the year last year out of the bullpen, a long relief closer, I guess you I guess we could call him, broke the school record for appearances, and he also threw probably 3 to 4 innings each time he was out there.
Takes a lot of pride in that, but it's almost broke. So, not sure what the numbers on that are quite yet.
I think it's 24 to break, as McCutcheon's going to get hit by the pitch. So then I'll bring up Langston Ginder, who grounded out on a fielder's choice, but scored the game's first run. That was Daniel Lichty, who now stands on second. First pitch to him is too high for ball 1. Runners will go. Fire over to third and sliding in safely is Daniel Lichty, who steals his 14th bag of the year.
Yeah, remember how you were saying about experimenting? Well, why don't you try experimenting stealing with runners on first and second and see what happens?
Gets the double steal there. So McCutcheon stands on second. Very similar situation to back in the first with nobody out. Runners at second and third for Ginder. Takes a swing up towards center field. Going back and making the catch is Jared Holly. They'll throw to third, but without a tag as Ginder kind of sacrifices, I guess, for the second time. So very, very similar. Second RBI of the day for Ginder.
2 outs, 2 RBIs.
I'm sure he'll take it.
Yeah.
Now the shortstop, Satchel Wilson. Infield playing in. Trying to save a run as Wilson takes the first strike.
Wilson, really weird that they are playing in. Wilson flew out to center his last at bat. You'd think they'd try to play back a little bit.
This one's roped down the line, called foul.
Oh, that was real close.
Called by the home plate umpire here. He's been pretty active today so far.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-2. Taken high for ball 1. Wilson looking for RBI number 27 on the year.
You know, I'm not sure. He got the ball, but still, that's a really close pitch to take right there. You better be careful with that one.
That one a little bit easier for him, but yeah, it was always tough as a hitter. You know, you never want to swing at a pitch that you know you're probably going to get yourself out on. It's not going to give you high batting average, but with 2 strikes, it is tough to take. And
You're gonna end up like Kyle Schwarber out there.
Yikes. This one's skied in the air in the gap towards right center field, and that one's just going to drop for a base hit. McCutcheon was waiting on a tag, so he'll get there a little bit later, but does get there. Smart base running. Now the Foresters are up 4-0.
Stepping to the plate for the Foresters will be the designated hitter.
Wilson's second RBI, so 3 and 4 hitters have all 4 here today. As Matt Wolf steps up to the plate. Wilson ready to go, takes off, and he'll get there safely. Obviously, the ball going to the backstop, so Wilson will get it no problem, and he was going on the pitch, so that will be a second place Crossroads League stolen base record for Foresters here. adds his 22nd on the season. Ton of speed in this lineup, Carson. That's how the Foresters like to play.
Yeah, really good small ball lineup. Lay down bunts, steal bases, smart base running. Sometimes not smart base running that works out somehow.
Wilson will take off without a throw to third and picks up number 23.
Wow.
Guess he was ready to go.
Yeah, I'd say.
So an RBI chance for Matt Wolf with one out as Wilson says, hey, I'm over here at third, bring me in.
See if he decides to go if the ball gets to the backstop.
I think he would. Just depends on where it goes, though, I guess. Satchel Wilson now just one stolen base away to tie first place Jeremy Wiersma from Bethel, who was here just 2 weekends ago. This one roped into left, but right to the left fielder as he's going to make a janitor throw home. It was a good throw, just couldn't get there in time with the speedy Wilson. 5-0 Foresters.
Really good base running there from Satchel Wilson to give the Foresters another run. He probably wishes he could find that. He'll probably get another chance at another stolen base in the next couple series.
He's probably aware of it. I haven't asked him, but I'm sure he is. And Carson, this is with 7 less games. That's something that Huntington has seen this year, as that one's just out of the glove of the second baseman for the Spartans, and that will go as base hit. But Carson, that's something that the Foresters are unfortunately going to have to face here, is they've played in at least 5 less games than every single team or more.
Yeah. Yeah, all those games, the Foresters, not necessarily. They've kind of stayed away from the midweek games so far this year. We had some issues in the outfield, just scheduling and weather. I mean, this Manchester series was supposed to happen in mid-March.
Swinging first pitch is Young towards right field. Going over and making the catch for out number 3 is Turner. So the Foresters pick up a couple more and lead 5-0 here at home. Final home game here on FTN Sports.
All of your financial needs, be sure to check
4, 5, 6. We've got Pittsford, Brady Perez, and Jared Holly to the plate. Definitely some firepower in this side of the lineup as Pittsford will step to the plate. He's tied for the lead on his team in RBIs with 23 and leads the team in total bases. Flew out his last appearance. Taking on Grant Simmons again, who threw on Saturday, as we mentioned before, did really well against conference opponent Goshen Maple Leafs on the road, which the Foresters got the win. So he gets a swing and a miss. They'll have to complete the strikeout over to first, and they will with the throw from Jaden Deal.
Good job by Deal there, really good awareness. Got the ball on the ground, he had peeled away a little bit, made a good throw to Owen Young without interfering with the batter.
number 15, Brady Perez.
Next up will be Brady Perez, the junior outfielder from Rochester, Indiana. will take ball one here, who leads the team in two big categories, home runs and strikeouts, Carson.
That's interesting.
Seems like
One of the-
kind of like Major League Baseball now, huh?
Yeah, and we'll see. A lot of conversation lately about the ball. A lot of slow offense
Yeah,
so
I
far.
did see that. Major League Baseball seems to just like to tinker with the ball and not tell anybody, huh?
Yeah. I want to work in Major League Baseball one day. I'm going to stop talking now.
That's okay. That's okay. We feel ya. So 1-2. Swing and a miss for Grant Simmons to get back-to-back strikeouts here to start the inning.
And Grant Simmons, third strikeout of the day.
Center fielder, number 5, Jared Holly.
Doing a really good job here. Kind of like this is really an audition for Grant Simmons. You know, can you start games next year? We're losing Cam Dice. Can we use you in the bullpen?
Right.
How are you going to handle pressure, counts?
Well, not only next year, but Carson, the conference tournament right around the corner.
Absolutely.
As Simmons gets Holly down two strikes here in the inning. 0-2 is a little bit too high.
Not sure if I love that pitch there. You were throwing a really good curveball. Maybe try to get him to chase on it on the 0-2 instead of going with a high fastball. See what Grant Simmons can do here.
Goes fastball here, a little bit outside again. Missing the zone, so now we'll move it 2-2. Now that conference tournament, Forster is kind of looking at that 3 or 4 seed. Well, I mean, almost for certain, I guess. They're down 2 to Taylor and 4 to Mount Vernon, with Mount Vernon next weekend. In the air towards Davitt, foul territory, makes the grab before tumbling into the wall. He'll make the catch safely and not injuring himself. That's the most important thing. 5-0, Forsters have the lead here on FDN Sports. New pitcher on the mound for the Spartans, Cody Jackson, a sophomore from Indianapolis, Franklin Central High School. Carson, let's run the numbers by.
3.07 ERA with a 170 WHIP. 9 appearances. Really a guy out of the bullpen. Hasn't recorded a win yet. Also, or a loss. He's pitched a little over 14 innings, 17 hits on the year, 8 walks, 10 strikeouts, and 4 home runs. So, really, a lot of long ball numbers there. Want to definitely watch those. If you're the Foresters, not a lot of walks. So, once again, plate discipline going to be huge.
He'll have to take on 8, 9, and then top, starting with Nicholas Davitt, who popped out in his first plate appearance in that 1-2-3 second inning for Huntington. You know, we're talking a little bit about the Crossroads League tournament and the standings and such, as Foresters and Wildcats are kind of deadlocked, so that would give the Foresters the edge with the series win. But then you look at Mount Vernon, who is in first place, but only up 4 games on Foresters. So, ironically enough, the Foresters, I guess, are still in it. They'd have to go and win 4 in a row
On the road.
to get that, and hope that Taylor loses at least 3. I believe if they lost 2, I don't know what the tiebreaker would be. It would be us, according to Coach Frame up here. Thank you for that. Davitt on the season. Played a big part in that 3-1 series victory. Carson, do you remember that? What did he do?
He had a walk-off home run, I think. Had one of the best bat flips of the year. Gave a great post-game interview.
Yes, it was. It was terrific.
You ever hit a walk-off home run before?
And
Yeah.
As he laughs and then made a podcast appearance.
Yes, he did. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was. That was highlight, I think, of the season for sure against a team that beat us in all 5 games last year, where Huntington goes back to IWU after they had to move fields. We were originally going to play here, but the outfield wasn't ready, so we went to Indiana Wesleyan. Hit on a line, but right towards the center fielder, Jared Holly, for out number 1. It's been a pretty fun season. Carson, I think the Foresters are having some fun this year after a tough end to last season, but a really successful year, and it's good to see the guys bouncing back and having a really good team chemistry.
Yeah, that's all. You always want to see that. These guys just have a lot of fun. They obviously love baseball. It's a lot of fun being around them, too, and just really enjoying it.
Jaden Deal, take another hack at it here. Struck out with a question mark as I put in my scorebook on that potential strike 3 call that I think both sides were very confused about it. Unfortunately, I think both the umpires were confused about too.
Yeah, everyone was a little bit befuddled. And umpire was kind of holding up that it was 2 strikes. Manchester's off the field.
Yep.
The first base umpire, field umpire, a little confused.
Never good when the guy calling balls and strikes goes over to the field umpire to ask what the count is to end the inning. Two and 1 here to Jaden Deal. On the ground towards the third baseman. That will be a fair ball, but he can't corral it and will not throw over to first. So Deal will get on base. We'll have a courtesy runner coming his way.
Comorley appears to be.
Will be.
Courtesy runner at first base, number 7, Sam Kimmerly. Now batting for the Foresters, the third
That'll bring up Daniel Lichty to the plate. For the Foresters, Comorley has been caught stealing once, but he's been successful 5 times, including 1 towards home plate that Indiana Wesleyan series. That was fun too. Lichty first pitch swinging towards center field. Not gloving in. This one's going to go past him. Lichty will take off towards second, slide in feet first safely, and the Foresters now have runners in scoring position here with 1 out.
Scoring decision, double.
Sounds good to me. I mean,
Look at the replay.
wasn't exactly a routine. Just kind of misplayed it. You see that a couple times in the outfield where the ball will kind of scatter behind them and they'll go for a triple, or sometimes all 4. Just a really good-looking swing for Lichty, who wasn't running hard out of the box at first, but then had to turn on the jets. Really good shot by our camera crew there, Daniel Lichty.
Doing a great job tonight. Really happy we can get a nice full broadcast in.
That'll bring up Ian McCutcheon to the plate. He's got 2 free passes so far. Walken got hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning. McCutcheon will take this one outside. As a team leading 13 home runs this season, we highlighted his games against Goshen on Saturday where he hit 3 of them. All to left field. And a couple bat flips too, maybe 3.
My favorite stat.
McCutcheon tied for 3rd in the Crossroads League in home runs in only 34 games. Hits this one on a line for a base hit. Comorley will score. Here comes Daniel Lichty to the plate. He will score without a throw, and the Foresters are now up 7-0. 2 RBIs for Ian McCutcheon. Gets his first here today. Now brings his total up to 42 on the year, Carson. It's just a phenomenal year for him this year.
Yeah, especially he had to serve as a DH for a little bit. Couldn't go on the field due to his elbow injury. Got to go into the field. Been batting really well.
You imagine if he played all those games healthy, that series against St. Francis. Would have been nice to have him. Missing part of the Taylor series too, unfortunately. Both series in which the Forsters split. But you got to have injuries sometimes, Carson, and got to give credit to the training staff and
Yes.
new strength and conditioning coach Donovan Clark for keeping these guys as healthy as possible. Ginder's called for strike 1, moves the count to 2-1. He has sacrificed his out twice for RBIs today. So he'll take this one for ball 3 close. Swing and a miss from Ginder, shakes his head a little bit.
Yeah, pitch he really wanted there was right at his chest.
That's why I get 3 though, another opportunity, right?
Yeah.
See if he'll get one. Ginder talking to the umpire for a second here, or the catcher, probably both.
I think they're trying to get the plate, all those pellets, turf pellets, covering the plate.
Didn't bring his brush though.
He did not. He brought his foot.
Probably didn't think he had to.
I always bring my. You have to bring your brush as an umpire. Just bring it.
Maybe
You
playing
know.
a turf field, you don't need your brush. Okay. Yeah, they got to clean off the plate somehow, I guess.
You don't have to do as much with the dirt.
This one just over the head of the shortstop, Baker. McCutcheon heading for third and bobbling it out in center field. So Ginder's going to go over and take second. So now goes a base hit and advance to second base. Still 1 out here as we're going to get a mound visit from the Spartans.
There's some bullpen activity. Not sure if they're going to try to.
Looks like they're going to keep him in there. Have a conversation how to pitch to Wilson here.
Take a look at this one here. Langston Ginder got a good barrel on it. He started booking it, got right over the head of Baker. Like you said, he hesitated there, saw the ball went away, and kept peeling away with a slide. That's really one thing that's really helped the Force with this turf field. They can slide a lot faster and get earlier and start going their slide sooner and not having as much friction. They can more glide.
And that's something that Coach Thad Frame and I talked about before the turf was laid out. I asked them, is there any advantage to the turf? And he said, well, it's one of the reasons why we're getting it. He said it fits our style of play. He said it's going to help us be a better defense because we're one of the best defensive teams in all of the NAI, especially in the Crossroads League, and we've been doing that on dirt and grass. Then he said, on the bases, it allows a team to get a better first jump going over to second, trying to steal bases, or they already steal a ton of bases on each season. Carson, they're a fast team, so it just fits their style of play more. So there's a lot of benefits to it, but that's a huge reason to get the turf, and that's a huge advantage for the Foresters, as you were alluding to. And it looks cool. Rope down the line and getting out of the way of it was Winkle. That'll score 2 runs for the Foresters. So Wilson gets on here.
Wilson's gotten an RBI at every plate appearance so far.
Yes, he has. Good point. That's 4 on the day for Wilson is Huntington extends their lead. Dugout loving it. As we are going to go to the bullpen here, Carson and I will have an update on that in just a second on FDN Sports. Carson, just take it away here. One of your classmates here is on the mound from Carroll High School.
Yep, my former AP. We used to sit right in front of each other in AP Government. Austin Kressel, 8.02 ERA on the year. This is 14th appearance. He has a save on the year. He's 1 for 2 on the year. 33 innings pitched. He's given up 43 hits. Has 34 strikeouts, though, and doesn't really give up too many long balls. So really just looking to get out of the jam here, grab 2 outs, and give his offense a chance to get moving.
It's cool for you to see one of your high school classmates there on the mound. Carson, of course, as he takes on a Fishers High School graduate, Matt Wolf.
It's hard to believe just 4 years ago we were sitting in Mr. McCurr's AP Government class debating the political issues of the day.
Sounds like a blast.
Oh, it was. It's really funny because we had a assignment for our end of the semester assignment. We did a mock Congress, and I wrote a bill, and the title of my bill was the Tattoo and Body Art Anti-Discrimination Act. Made it illegal to fire somebody for having a tattoo.
On the ground towards third. We'll stay in front of that one and make the play.
Really good play there. But real quick to finish my story, so you had to send it to committee, and Austin Kressel here was on the committee that took my bill, and he decided he didn't like that bill, so he turned it into the Tattoo and Body Art Discrimination Act and made it illegal to get tattoos.
Hey, well, that's fun.
It was really fun. I was laughing so hard. I thought it was so funny. We had a lot of fun in that class. I miss him. I miss
Bet you did. That's cool to see. Maybe you'll have to say hi to him.
Yeah, maybe.
After the game's here.
Me, him, Langston Ginder, all in the same graduating class.
Yep. Jarrett Gray at the plate. Singled off of the glove, diving glove. Last inning towards the second baseman, White. Also grounded out to the starting pitcher to end the first inning. This one will bounce again. Wilson will stay put, though, at second. See if he'll try to take third, Carson, and tie the Crossroads League lead. I don't know if St. Francis is playing today,
Bethel.
but if they do, or, yeah, Bethel. Same blue team, I guess.
Not even a different.
Not even a Cougar.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I was a Cougar, I might have been able to forgive you, but that was a little too. Yeah, it's a little bit more risky without a left-handed batter because the catcher has a clear sight line.
Yep.
If it was
very
a left-handed batter, he'd have to pop around the batter.
In the air, shortstop will call it off. That's Baker who makes the catch and ends the inning. Forsters do get a couple in the inning to make it 9-0 here on FDN Sports. Bryce Deckman, the freshman, on the mound here for the Forsters to relieve Grant Simmons, who had a terrific start. Carson, you want to run by the Plymouth, Indiana native here?
Yeah, only a sixth appearance of the year, a little over 5 innings pitched, only a 6.35 ERA, giving up a homer, but has struck out 6 batters, has walked 8. Gonna have to watch that here.
Pitched twice in the Goshen series, did not allow a run, going 1 1/3. Struck out 1 in just the 2 walks, so he's been steadily improving here. Carson threw 2 against Marion as well, no runs. This one's a nibbler 2. Wilson fires over to first quickly and gets the first out of the inning.
Really good defensive play there from Wilson. Got his feet moving, was able to go pick that ball up, throw it across the field.
Now batting for the Spartans, the left fielder, number 29, Mitchell Cobb.
We'll bring up Mitchell Cobb to the plate. Swung at the first pitch and singled back in the second inning. He's played in 8 games this year. This is his 9th, hitting over .409 on the season. .10 is low. Deckman, the Monroe Central High School graduate last year, playing his first year for the Foresters. Throws this one in there.
Really
Strike
like that.
2.
Really like that pitch. Just a straight fastball right down the middle. Batter wasn't expecting it. Got a bit of a favorable count here.
It's got him here, even 2-2. Tapped right back to Deckman. Will spin around and make the throw over to first. PFP.
Your favorite.
Love it.
Yeah, not really sure how I feel about that swing. Coach Frank's laughing that you like PFP.
I love PFP. Those are my favorite days. Besides bullpen days, of course.
Yeah, not really sure how I feel about that swing, though. That was a little bit high and inside. Really, it looks like he almost hit it off of a check. Really have to commit to that swing or just take that pitch high.
Squares to bunt right in the air, and Deckman drops it first. So the runner will head over to first. That was Mitchell Baker, who thought he was probably done after bunting in the air, but just rolled off the glove of Bryce Deckman.
Yeah, really a play you have to make, Ryan. PFP practice right there. You got to run off the mound and kind of get your glove on that one. Not really, this is a little bit of a low-pressure situation, but if you dropped that in a game that was much closer, really a bad sign. You guys practice in-air bunts during PFP practice?
No, we do not.
Okay.
That's a little bit tougher to do. We'll leave that to the outfielders, but that one just tough play for Deckman. But a new hitter to the plate, Cray Young, 250 hitter on the season. He's played in 2 games. Takes a strike. We'll take a beautiful breaking ball from Deckman for strike 2. That patented lefty curveball, Carson.
Yeah, it really is going to take hitters by surprise, especially with that much break on it.
Throws this one, and it dribbles off of the glove of Noah Comstock, now playing third, replacing Daniel Lichty. So back-to-back defensive mistakes, and that'll call pitching coach Brian Abbott to pitcher's mound here to talk to Deckman.
Yeah, I really like what Deckman's throwing here. Needs a little bit of defensive support here. 2 errors on 2. Obviously, he Coach Abbott with his arm around Deckman. Really easy plays there. Kind of a little bit more routine. Certainly plays, like I said. This isn't the highest pressure situation, but if you're sitting there in the bottom of the 7th at a 9-inning game with 2 outs against a Mount Vernon, a St. Francis, Indiana Wesleyan down the road, these are just mistakes you cannot afford to make.
Yep, very true. Carson, his Comstock did come in. I believe that's his first appearance here at third base. Came in as a infielder, third baseman, and said, this Lichty guy who probably won't be here for very much longer, and here he is as a junior, and Lichty's still there. He's been a very good option off the bench, has even started a few games in the outfield for Huntington this year, really came on the scene in the beginning of Crossroads League play, and it's been a really nice option. Love to root for guys like that, Carson.
Yep, definitely. Didn't Lichty host you on your visit, if I'm not mistaken?
He did not. He did not, no.
I think it's who hosted you?
It was Quentin.
Okay.
Yep. Fouls this one off to Zach White. I talked to Hunter Loskamp and Donovan Clark on my official visit here.
There you go.
And Coach Abbott went to a practice and got to talk to him, which was awesome. Start a really unique relationship between the two of us. I love to mess around with him. And he loves to mess around with me, too.
Walker, what are you doing over there?
Exactly. Almost made me spin around saying my last name like that. The 0-2 pitch from Deckman. Tapped in the air, out of play, and out of reach of Nico Davin in right field. A bit chilly out there, but, Carson, we got a decent crowd here on a Tuesday.
Yeah, a lot of students really been itching to go out to a game. It's just been a little too cold or windy or rainy or all the above.
Or not even here, exactly. So this one's hit on a line towards Ginder, but he'll make the throw. Backhand over to Wilson to end the inning. Manchester strands a couple runners on base here as we go to the bottom of the 5th here on FTN Sports. Couple Forrester students here, as we were just mentioning before, enjoying the last game here at Forest Glen Park of the year, and for some seniors. Owen Young, one of those seniors that has ran out of eligibility, will be at the plate.
Maybe he might find some in the back pocket or something. Oh, I have another year of eligibility here. I'll use it.
Definitely could. He's positive energy on the team. Had him on the podcast last week, and it's had a little bit of a rocky road in college with some transferring and some injuries, but has found a home here in Huntington for the last 4 years, and came from an Arkansas Pine Bluff program that's Division I. Played at Alexandria Monroe High School, and is here now playing for the Foresters. COVID, of course, Tough to bounce back from that, but he's worked very, very hard to be at the position he's at here.
Yep, you talked about with him on the podcast. Has a couple dads and or dad and uncle who play in the majors.
And Dimitri Young, his father, and Uncle Delman. As he hits this one in the air towards center field. And making the catch is Jared Holly. Played for multiple teams, both of them, and the family.
Yeah, and like you talked about with him on the podcast, he's so extensively knowledgeable about the game of baseball from the major leagues
Yes,
to
he
the
is.
just on-field play.
That'll bring up Nico Davitt to the plate. Takes this one for ball one, taking on Austin Kressel. Here, hitter 7-8-9 with Davitt at the plate batting eighth. This one skied in the air towards the infield. Shortstop going over and making the catch, Mitchell Baker. So from senior Owen Young, senior Nick Davitt, we go to freshman Jaden Deal.
Yeah, that works.
Swings at the first one, slow roller to Baker. He'll throw over and make a nice play to first to end the inning. 1, 2, 3 for the Spartans as they come up to the top of the sixth here. Forest Glen Park on FTN Sports.
Reminder that the restrooms are located on the backside of the press box on the lower level. And the concession stand is open this evening as all your ballpark delights, hot dogs, hamburgers, nachos, popcorn, Gatorade, water, soft drinks, and other delights. Be sure to check it out. Al and Rita have been working hard since the sun came out this afternoon on those ballpark delights.
Bryce Deckman back out on the mound, the freshman, Monroe Central High School.
Leading off for the
Had a pretty nice first inning.
will be the catcher, number 13,
Just a couple errors, including one of his own
Rocco
in the air, kept the inning alive, but got the first 2 outs rather quickly. We'll see what he can do with Rocco Haynes, the 3-hole man, 4 and 5 coming up. This one skied into left field and will bounce right in front of Jarrett Gray.
Now stepping to the plate is a Spartans designated hitter, number 22, Harrison Pittsburgh.
That'll bring up the DH, Harrison Pittsford, to the plate 0 for 2 here today, but hitting .351 on the season, bound for a hit. Throws over to first without a tag. Deckman using that lefty move over to first. It's Rocco Haynes at first base, 2 for 2 on the year in stolen bases. Doesn't take off often, but when he does, he's been successful this year. Here's the 2-0 to Pittsford. It's fouled back.
Really like to see a little bit more control from Deckman. couple of pitches going a little bit high inside. Nothing too wild, but certainly want to start pounding that strike zone a little bit more.
See if he comes back here. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Pitching coach Watkins over here doing a nice job. Here's the 2-2. Tapped foul. So we'll try it again. This one's called in for strike 3. Throw down to second is not in time. So Pittsford will go down swinging, but Rocco Haynes picks up his 3rd stolen base in as many attempts on the season.
Yeah, Kilsheimer didn't even really try to pop there. He just kind of threw it. Not sure if he knew if he had a chance or not.
The first baseman, number 15, Brady Perez.
Excuse me, there's a courtesy runner over at second, so that is not Rocco Haynes. Can't see the number from here.
If you'd like to do a spin, that'd help us out a little bit.
Turn around.
A
Number 2. It is Austin Snyder. Swing and a miss. Snyder's on second.
Who's on first? What's on second? No, first. Who's on first? Snyder's on second.
There you go. Snyder, that was his 4th stolen base of the year. He's 4 for 4 now. Oh, 2 here to Perez. Oof, takes that one outside. That was close.
Yeah, not really a pitch I would take there. Once again, I mean, he got the call, but I mean that was way too close to be taken in an 0-2 situation.
Deckman checks. Now the 1-2, a little bit low. Going to take off. Kalsheimer couldn't find it. So Snyder will end up on third base here with just the 1 out. So an RBI opportunity for the Spartans, down 9-0 here so far, looking for the first one. That's this one up the middle. That will get in the run as Wilson gets the 2nd out of the inning. So the middle of the order will get the Spartans' first run. Now we'll bring up Jared Holly to the plate. The center fielder was 0 for 2 so far. Big swing and a miss from Jared Holly will even the count to 1-1. Deckman just giving up the single in the almost 2 innings of work so far. Gets another swing and miss. Looking to have a pretty nice 2 innings here. Carson from the lefty.
Yeah, certainly what he needs. Once again, just getting guys in-game experience. You can throw bullpen all you want, but nothing really beats an in-game situation.
As Holly swings and misses through strike 3. But the Spartans do end up with a run here. Their first, cut into the lead a little bit, 9-1. The Foresters lead at home on FDN Sports.
The Spartans score one in the top of the sixth. It's late 5.5 here at Forest Glen Park, with the Foresters coming to the plate.
Another inning of work for Austin Kressel on the mound, the senior from Carson's AP government class. We'll have to take on top of the order here, but with a new hitter here, Noah Comstock playing third base, replacing Daniel Lichty.
Finally got to use that sub line in our scorebook. I haven't used it all year.
So Noah Comstock will step into the plate for the first time here
Now batting for the Foresters,
in this single 9-inning game.
Noah Comstock.
Take the first pitch for strike one. 310 on the season for Comstock. So he takes strike two quickly, so we'll have to protect here. Takes a swing at that one over to third. Going to be a tough play. Fires over to first and safe as first baseman pulled his foot. Brady Perez on the throw from Winkle.
Now batting for the Foresters, the center fielder, number 4, Ian McCutcheon.
That'll bring up Ian McCutcheon to the plate, who singled home a couple runs last inning. Will take strike one
Got
from Austin Kressel.
Got 2 RBIs too on the day. He's been on base every time. Hit by pitch, a walk, and a single.
Take this one high towards the chin for
Chin,
ball one.
chin music.
What song was it playing?
What's the freight train song after the home runs? I don't know the name of that song.
Gone.
Gone like a
Yeah.
freight train.
This one towards center field, playable for Holly as he makes the catch. That'll bring up Langston Ginder to the plate.
Now stepping to the plate.
Productive day so far, I would say, Carson.
Absolutely, another player is
Langston Ginder.
he did get a liner right to third, first base his first at bat. Got a sacrifice fly and then a single. Manchester's a team that doesn't give up a lot of home runs, Ryan. Forcers really looking at that right now. They've given up 47 on the season.
Looking for just one more to tie that school record, Carson. So this one's roped down the line, gloving it though, and making the play to second. We will see, and he'll be called out. Really good play from Ivan White.
Yeah, got down, had to break dance to get around.
Number 12.
Threw it to first on a pretty close play. Surprised he just didn't go to first with it, but got the lead runner. Thought for a second he might have been a little bit late and got a runner on first and second, but he did get the out. Now Cressel's got 2 outs to work with.
This one swung high in the air towards the line and will end up going out of play.
Hit the tree and came back into play.
Fair ball.
Satchel Wilson, 26 RBIs. He hasn't gone in that bad without an RBI today.
4 on the day for Wilson. 2 singles and a sacrifice. Ginder now over at first on the fielder's choice. He's got 15 stolen bags on the year. He's been caught twice. See if he'll take off. Or the Foresters up 8. So throw back over. Just not in time. Ginder talking to first baseman Perez a little bit over that first. Satchel Wilson at the plate. 2 for 2 today so far. Taken outside, another throw over to Ginder. So now we'll try 3 and 2 here. Tapped foul.
Again, there's a jog back.
Three-two, called ball 4 outside. The Foresters move Ginder up to second as Wilson heads to first. Matt Wolf to the plate. Using Jarrett Gray's walk-up song.
For the Foresters, the DH, number 24, Matt Wolf.
Russ Lawson on the music.
Just a rookie. He's a rookie. We'll see what happens. Maybe he'll get a couple, maybe get a hit here and maybe some extra bases. And
Yeah, definitely could. Might have to change his walk-up, even though this is the last game here at home.
Get your own walk-up music in your head at Mount Vernon and at Taylor. Maybe have they announced where the Crossroads League? I heard Taylor, but maybe I heard wrong.
I'm going to assume it's there, but I have not heard. Sure, we can find out from somebody though. Wolf will hit this one up the middle. Don't think it got a piece of the pitcher there. Could be wrong, but 1 run will score as Matt Wolf will slide in safely to second. And the Foresters now lead 10-1.
Now Jarrett Gray gets to use his own walk-up song.
The left fielder, number 11, Jarrett Gray.
One for 3 for Gray so far. 6-hole man for the Foresters. Take the first one in the dirt. Take this one high for ball 2. Still to be announced on the website, Carson, for May 6th.
On
Right.
Goshen's website, it says Taylor, but
Interesting. As ball just pops out of the glove.
what is going
Of
on
the
with players?
catcher.
What is going on with the mitts today?
They're playing with a bouncy ball. Carson, didn't you know?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, is that the new ball, Tinker? We're gonna put a little more bounce in it.
Yes.
There's
Yeah,
actually
here in the NAI, they want more home runs. That's why Huntington will hopefully tie the school record at some point.
that's what Dalton Combs is saying out there. No, it's a different ball. I'm telling you.
This pitch in there for a strike.
Back in my day, we had to use the dead ball.
Dalton Combs in attendance today. I saw Adrian Perez, Adam Rozier as well at the ballpark. Always good to see some alumni.
It's gonna be a fun alumni game next year. Daniel Lichty, Owen Young, Dalton Combs.
Will be interesting. We'll see if they all come back for it. They have the alumni game every year on a Saturday.
Homecoming week.
It's a fun thing, you know, get to see some of your
Peers.
former players and peers. Gray will take this inside and extend his at-bat even more. Now 3-2 with 2 outs. Here comes the 3-2. In the air. In play. Underneath it. Now coming over to make the catch is the shortstop. And that will end the inning. Gray will go to 1-4. 1 for 4 on the day. To end it, we will head to the top of the 7th here on FTN Sports.
The score, the Foresters 10 and the Spartans 1. We anticipate Turner, Cobb, and Baker coming to the plate for the Spartans.
Carson's going to run us the numbers on the new freshman pitcher, the lefty from where, Carson?
Carroll High School, Joel Ledger, 7th appearance of the year, 8 innings, even pitch. Has only given 8 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts, only 1 long ball with a 4.50 ERA.
It's been thrown really well for the Foresters this year, and of course, limited amount of innings. His last outing gave up 2 and an inning and 2/3. Carroll High School, as we just featured there. Carson said he's called a game from him before, but in that uniform, not the Foresters uniform,
Yeah, I've done both.
which is awesome. Get to cover
Heck yeah.
a couple different ones there. Now, could be an announcer, Jinx Carson, so I'll just knock on wood right here, but he has not surrendered a walk this year so far in those 8 innings of work.
It's okay. If I already mentioned that, so you can put that jinx on me if it happens.
Okay, will do. Thanks for your sacrifice, Carson.
No problem.
That one's roped into left for a base hit from Colin Turner to get things started here.
Now stepping to the
Like
plate
you said,
for the
it's so tricky because like we both believe it's real, and we've both been victims of the old announcer jinx. But
Yeah, we sure
there's
have.
also information that we need to tell people.
Exactly, these little tidbits, and then we screw it all up,
Oh,
Carson.
he hasn't walked anybody. Oh, and he's walked the bases loaded. Look
Yep.
at that. Caleb Millsworth has not missed a free throw this year. Man, he missed that one. That one really hurt. I felt really bad about that one.
That'll bring up the freshman Mitchell Cobb to the plate. This one's tap foul. Joel Ledger 0-2. The 0-2, swing and a miss for out number 1 from Joel Ledger.
Well, you can see in the background there a little bit of activity in the pen. Manchester not sure how much more Crystal we're going to see.
As we figured, Forster bullpen will probably be up and running again as it is out there. Don't want your guys to go too long in this game here, getting prepared for the weekend series against number 1 in the Crossroads League, Mount Vernon. And it will be at Mount Vernon.
Oh boy.
The dreaded road trip. Might be one of the best home field, home court, home whatever, yeah, for the Crossroads League as teams have to bus over long distance, especially when they play Spring Arbor.
Oh yeah.
But
then again, that's every
game for
every away
Mount,
game for
Mount
them.
Vernon. Yeah, exactly. So probably have a really good home record, but on the road might be a little tougher. But it's been a really nice year for the Cougars, the Mount Vernon Cougars, that is, this year. This one's on the ground towards Comstock and makes up for that one error back a couple innings ago with a really nice play.
That was a really good play, like you said. Advanced the runner, Turner, but was able to get a glove on it. It was just a little bit too in for a DP.
I'll bring up Cray Young, playing third base for Ivan Winkle. Came back in the 5th inning, reached on an error. Now take on Joel Ledger. First pitch swinging. Camped under it is McCutcheon. He will make the catch out in center field. So Joel Ledger gets a job done, stranding a runner at second base. Still no walks, so Carson, you are all set as we head to the bottom of the 7th here on FTN Sports. Freshman lefty on the mound, Artie Casas on the mound. So let's get the number. Sorry about that. Carson going to be letting us know about the freshman from Pendleton Heights High School.
Yeah, 7th appearance on the year. He does have a save on the year, an 8.03 ERA. An 8.03 ERA, 12.1 innings pitched. He's given up 18 runs, 11 of them earned. Getting 13 strikeouts on the year.
He'll bring up Owen Young to the plate. Here, thank you for that, Carson.
The first baseman, number 18, Owen Young.
7, 8, 9 for the Forsters here as Young will take first pitch for a strike. Kelsheimer will bat third in the inning, replacing Jaden Deal. On the ground towards shortstop, Baker, who throws over, and just in about a step and a half will get Owen Young. Nico Davitt take another chance at it. 0 for 3 so far. Looking to change that with a base hit here. Swings at the first one in the air towards shortstop Mitchell Baker again. He will make the catch for out number 2.
Really got to be careful for the Foresters. The 7, 8, 9 hitters have gotten out 1, 2, 3 the last 2 innings, the last 2 at-bats. So you got to watch out for that. Need some production there from your 7, 8, 9 hitters going into the tournament.
So I'll bring up Callan Kelsheimer for the first time here today. We'll take ball 1. Has struggled a little bit at the plate this year, but did hit a very loud home run against Marion as he will get hit by a pitch here for his at-bat. So he'll be courtesy ran.
Now batting for the Foresters will be the third baseman, number 15, Noah Comstock.
We'll bring up Noah Comstock, second plate appearance here today. Swing and a miss from Comstock to start. Had a single and his last time up in the 6th inning. As he swings and misses through that one to end the inning, strike 3. Foresters still up 10-1 here though on MTN Sports.
We played 7 here at Forest Glen Park, and the score remains the Foresters 10 and the Spartans 1. Pitcher warming up for the Foresters, number 38, Bubba Baker. Left fielder for the Foresters, number 5, Ryan Hale. Leading off the second baseman for the Spartans, number 9, Zach White.
Jonathan Baker to the mound. Ryan Hale out in left field, replacing Jarrett Gray. Carson, if you would like to, here are the numbers from Baker this season.
Yeah, Baker's been having a great season. 15th appearance on the year, 21 innings pitched.
As he gets the first out here.
Make that 21.1 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts, has only given up 1 long ball. Really played well in relief so far this season, Ryan.
And if you'd like, here's some numbers on Joey Butts. Of course, kidding as always.
Yeah,
Baker's
we're not
been
serious.
really Baker has been pretty steady over the last couple series in conference play. Also pitches a lot better at home than he does on the road, around a 4.22 ERA at home as opposed to just around a 12 ERA on the road.
If I may add, who was pitching that inning against St. Francis that went awry? Do you recall?
Makes a play over. Say that again.
Who was that? Who was the person who pitched that inning against St. Francis that went awry at St. Francis? The one where they had the grand slam, had like 12 runs in an inning.
It's a great question. I don't remember who was on the mound at that point. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. If it was Bo Baker, that might have been the comp star with a big old smile on his face. Yeah, especially the road truck Foresters. They've been playing pretty well on the road, but those few early season games were a bit of a struggle.
Gets this one towards center. McCutcheon going to let it bounce in front of him for base hit for Pittsford. I'll bring up Brady Perez to the mound, to the plate.
The first baseman, number 15, Brady Perez.
Baker threw in 2 games in that 4-game Goshen series over the weekend. One of them was in the loss, but did not give up a run in that game through 2 innings. Perez swings and misses through strike 2. 0 for 3 so far, does have an RBI. This one bounces, almost goes over the screen, so that'll hold runner at second for now.
You would advance a third if it went over the screen, wouldn't you? It's a good.
That is a good question.
We'll have to ask the rules expert over here, Mr. Coach Mike Frame.
1-2 now for Jonathan Bubba Baker.
We don't need him today, but is Rally Dog here is the question. I think I might have saw him or her earlier. I think that was one of my favorite nights of the season.
I think they're at home.
Okay. Maybe I just saw a different dog.
Definitely could have. All dogs are welcome, right?
Yes, absolutely. Except there's a sign that says they're not, but the sign's not really followed.
Johnny Baker at home watching and listening with the Rally Dog. We appreciate that, and we appreciate the tweet, of course.
Needs a strikeout, Rally Dog here.
Gets the strikeout right there, right on cue. Carson, way to go. You did an announcer jinx in a positive way. Fist bump as always.
For Huntington fans.
We end the inning 10-1. Foresters have the lead in the bottom of the 8th.
Our thanks tonight to Summit Financial Group for their support of Forester baseball. Our thanks to Corey Grow and his associates. Multifaceted financial institution committed to helping individuals and businesses be successful for the long term. Be sure to check out Summit Financial Group. And our thanks again to Crosley and Keeper Grove for throwing out the first pitches tonight.
Ian McCutcheon will lead things off for the Foresters. Sam Camorley and Max Mosier looks like they will bat in the inning as well. Looks like Camorley will head to second base and bat third in the lineup, and then Mosier will come in. I would assume pinch hit for
Wilson or Ginder.
Wilson or Ginder. Guess no, Wilson will come up to the plate. I see him with a bat and helmet on. He'll likely come in for the DH. Matt Wolf, also another fun thing. You know, Carson, seeing some of these guys that don't get an opportunity, especially on a team that is kind of logjam with COVID, as we've said all year. COVID red shirts and regular red shirts.
If you're Daniel Lichty, both.
Yeah, exactly. So McCutcheon will pop out for the first down. For the first down of the inning. That'll bring up Sam Camorley to the plate.
Sam Camorley really did well at the plate earlier in the season when he was playing center for McCutcheon, and played a great center too. He's been about everywhere. I think he's played just about every position so far this year. Being only partly sarcastic there.
Camorley transferred in 2020, so you can assume how his first year went, transferring from Lakeland College in Illinois. Australian native as well. And it's another player that you root for, Carson, a guy that has all the talent in the world, but had to have a season taken away from COVID, but the second season taken away because can't return back home, or trying to get back as Camorley walks, or just trying to get back to the United States and going home. It just created some issues, decided to stay out there, work on his game a little bit. So I'm at a couple Australian Baseball League games, which was cool to see, and comes into the Forsters this season and is really productive, Carson, and he's been a great addition to this lineup.
Absolutely, and like we said, he's a really good utility player. You can use him wherever he's played center, he's played second, he's played all over the place.
So to the plate now is Satchel Wilson. We'll take this one for ball 2. Max Mosier awaits on deck for the Forsters. Sam Camorley over at first. As he ropes this one down towards left field for a base hit.
Furthermore, Sam Camorley's mic'd up video is always there for a good laugh from Arizona.
That was funny.
Shooter McGavin. We need to do more of that next year. Do some more mic'd up videos. Who else do you think should be mic'd up?
I can tell you who probably shouldn't be. I'm sure Langston Ginder would be a fun one.
Yeah, I think so.
Owen Young, but he won't be here next year.
Mic him up for the conference tournament.
Mosier ropes this towards short, throws to second, and gets the double play. Max Mosier hit it about as hard as a baseball could be hit, and just grabbing it, and then Camorley, not that it would be a base running mistake, but just could not get back in time. It was hit so hard. So that is going to end the inning, Carson, 10-1 here on FDN Sports.
Beautiful evening here at Forest Glen, a little cool. But thanks for the sun being out. New pitcher warming up for the Foresters, number 34, freshman right-hander Graham Collins.
Back here, Homestead Spartan on the mound. Graham Collin, who's had, I would say, an up and down season, but more up than down as of recent, Carson.
Yeah, this is 17th appearance. He's started 2 games. He's 2 for 3 on the year with 2 saves, 21 innings pitched, 24 strikeouts, 24 walks, and 2 long balls given up. And I think that's really been the story of the Forester season is how much they turn around this pitching staff after the preseason. Not to say that they were, bad. They were just young and a little bit inexperienced, and they were.
Played some tough teams, too, at that.
Number 5, Jared Holly.
So bring up Jared Holly to the plate in what should be the final half inning of play here, Carson.
Never say never.
Never say never, of course. Foresters have a 10-1 lead. It's also our senior day here, too, Carson, and it's been a blast over 4 years, man.
Yep.
Last home game, at least for us. Won't be going to Mount Vernon, but we'll certainly try to go out and cover conference tournament. Still up in the air for us. We got school to go to that week, but we'll see. I don't think missing a class or two would be that bad, huh?
Yeah, we'll see.
Hopefully our professors aren't listening.
I know my physics professor is.
Okay,
He
well,
watches every game.
good luck with that.
Yeah, it's all right. Hey, Dr. Martin, listen, I know. Come on, man. Just give me an A on the lab. Call it a day.
2-2. This one on the ground towards Camorley. Go over and make the play for out number 1. It's crazy thinking about last 4 years, Carson, reminiscing this all day today, thinking about coming in. I know our experiences are different, but my first 2 years just coming onto this field for the first time, I'm sure you do have a similar remembrance of that, seeing the field for the first time, of course. Being able to play for 2 years was such a blessing here, and be in the dugout cheering on the Foresters from down there, but also up here in the booth.
Yeah, I was actually kind of thinking about it too when I was walking down. When I first got here, I was really struggling emotionally with all the changes. And I used to come down here, and I'd ride my skateboard down the little turns all the way down here, see if I could make it down. I never did. It went too fast. But really just crazy to think about how fast it goes by. And yeah, not a lot of college students get a pandemic in the middle of their experience. And yeah, and especially when I was first coming here, I wasn't the biggest sports fanatic, and then I turned into one, partially thanks to FTN Sports, mostly thanks to FTN Sports. And yeah, it's just been a wild 4 years, and just crazy to think about, Ryan.
Sure is, Carson. Spent a lot of time down here. Graham Collins got 2-2. Here to Colin Turner, the right fielder. 1 for 3 so far today. We'll take a pitch outside. Here's the 3-2. A little bit too low for ball 4. Now to the plate is Mitchell Cobb.
The Foresters pull this out. Who's the interview candidates? It's a good. Satchel Wilson's probably a good one, right? Talk to Satchel
Yeah, that
Wilson.
might be a good one.
Has a team high RBIs today.
Courtesy runner over to first now.
Let's talk to Lichty or maybe Young, some of the guys who are finishing up here. Have to think about it on the walk down.
Takes this one for a strike. Mitchell Cobb today, 1 for 3. The single also struck out.
What day does the conference tournament start, anyways?
I think May 6th. I think that's what it said.
Oh boy,
Coming up, man.
that's finals week.
Oh no, it is. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I can't really miss that.
You can rearrange it though.
Yeah, I took my midterms early to go to the national tournament for basketball. I'm really not sure if I want to do that again, but I'll consider.
Kind of leave me out to dust, man. Huh?
I could be in the radio.
calling the game with me though. So
That's the
We'll
nicest
have
thing
to-
you've ever said about me. I really appreciate
we'll
that.
We'll have to see. I'll get to pick on you some more.
Oh, never mind then.
Only because you said that. 1-2 here to Mitchell Cobb.
All I'm saying is Ivanhoe's. That's kind of where I'm going. If it's in Upland, that is a chance for Ivanhoe's because when we went down with the basketball team to Taylor,
Yeah, that's my first time.
I've been there multiple times, but I didn't
Sure
know
you have.
I didn't know you could get ice cream while you were.
Yeah.
Many of the basketball players ordered ice cream. I was gonna feel bad if I did.
Yeah, not to be too greedy. It was probably a better move, but
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I had
we-
chips and cheese.
we would have known.
Then it happened again. We went to Indiana Wesley and we ordered Culver's. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. No one's gonna order ice cream this time.
And then
of course,
about everybody ordered
Yep.
ice cream.
yeah, no, I'm not gonna put any more work on Coach Strom than I need to. He does enough for us.
2-2. So one tap towards first base side. 60-year Owen Young will make the play. Now it comes down to one more out. Carson here for Cam Dice, Daniel Lichty, Owen Young.
Shortstop, number 8, Mitchell Baker.
Ten to 1 the score. Manchester trying to get one more. Here with Mitchell Baker to the plate. One and one the count after that pitch. Forsters again will be in action on the road to Mount Vernon. Friday, Saturday, those games are slated. Potentially could move to Thursday based off of rain or
Oh boy,
something like that. We'll see. All hearsay.
this has been quite the schedule.
Always is, but yes. It's been quite the conference season to say the least. Hard to get 4 games in a row on 2 days, back to back. Here comes the 2-2. Tap towards second base, and Sam Kimberly makes the catch. Forsters win 10-1 here in the last home game for the Forsters. Carson, it's been a pleasure, man.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to our great crew out there today who got us some good shots. We really appreciate them. Producer Dylan Herring is also working his last game here at Forest Glen Park. Really came in early, got a lot of work done, and yeah, it's been great.
Has been Carson. Forsters win 10-1. They'll be back in action on the road against Mount Vernon. Then conference tournament coming up. Been Ryan Walker and Carson Watkins here on FTN Sports.
Our thanks to the Manchester University Spartans for making the trip over to Huntington tonight.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Forest Glen Park. I'm here with Daniel Lichty, a senior. Count 'em, 4, 5, 6 years here at Forest Glen Park. Lichty, take me through. This is your last game here. Are you a little sad?
Yeah, a little bit. It was nice to hear the same songs again. Nice to be down at Forest Glen. Yeah, you'll miss it. Yeah, it was good.
Absolutely. Got a couple hits here. Does that make it a little bit more special?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, it felt good. Battling some injuries, but to get hits on your last game feels great.
Of course, and Lichty, last thing here before I bring in Owen Young. A lot of great memories here. Can you pick from a couple that maybe that you can remember?
Austin Pritch hitting a walk-off against St. Francis. Everyone going crazy. That was one of the highlights. Oh.
What about Joey Butts?
Yeah, Joey's always great. Just a clown.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you, Lichty. Congrats on a huge career here. Now we're going to bring in Owen Young. OY, come on over here, man. Owen, congrats to you. Not all 6 of them were here, but 4 of them were here. You kept coming back. Owen, what does this team mean to you?
Everything, man. I drive a long ways to be a part of this team, man. I love everything about it. Special team, man, special program, and, it sucks this is my last one here.
Absolutely. What's the best thing about this ballpark, Owen? Is it the atmosphere, the scenic looks? What's the favorite thing for you?
On the new field, probably just how much work we put into it. Honestly, it just reminds me of all the hard work that we've put in and all the stuff that we had to go through this year to get this thing going.
Absolutely, Owen. Hey, congrats on a terrific career. Still not over yet, but at least here at Huntington, it's been a pleasure being around you, calling you a teammate and a friend too.
Thank you, man. Pleasure's mine. Thank you, baby.
Absolutely. Foresters win 10-1 here. Final home game here on FDN Sports over Manchester. It's been Ryan Walker, Carson Watkins, and the entire crew here at FDN Sports.